Friend who personalizes people's problems. Or it could even be you. That when someone comes to you and they tell you what they're going through, you take it at heart. Now, this might not necessarily be a bad thing because it shows that you care. But most of all, it shows that you are an empathetic person. And empaths are very good people to have as friends because they help people get through the toughest times. Because everyone needs someone who will put themselves in their shoes and understand what they're going through to help them get through life. That's why, even as therapists, we are trained to be empathetic. For some people, it comes naturally, even without training. However, what I want to talk to you about today is if you are that friend who is an empath, now you need to learn some healthy ways that you can cope and create boundaries that is not going to affect you. Because you have to be there for your friend, but I also need to caution you that this can sometimes take a toll on you. Yeah? I had a friend who every time they would hear maybe their sibling going through something, yeah? Then that means that maybe it was a marital issue. Then that day when they go back home, they're going to put it onto the husband because, now she's looking at all men as bad people. Yet. Now, that's why it's very important for you to know where to stop, where to draw the boundary line, yeah? When you are helping a friend, especially someone who is going through, maybe it could be addiction, yeah? How do you stop yourself from being the enabler? Maybe it could be that they're going through a financial challenge. How do you stop yourself from not going over and above? Because I know people who you can share with something to do with your finances, and they will even go ahead to borrow because they don't have what to give you, but they will even borrow just to help that friend. Yeah, and all that is good because we're supposed to support, but you need to know how much is enough. Okay, when your friend comes to you and they're going through a problem, how do you help them? Number one, you could refer them if you know that this is not something that you can be able to handle. I've actually most of the clients I have been referrals because maybe you've gone and spoken to a friend and they don't know how to objectively advise you or how they can understand you better, and they refer you and they're like, oh, I know a psychologist who can actually help you process what's going on. So referring the person to the right person is also very important. Maybe it's a spiritual issue and you're not feeling like you're the type of person who will pray with them or do whatever you have to do to help them get through, then you refer them. Number one, referral. Number two is creating a bit of a boundary, right? For example, if the person is in distress, understand what they're going through, but do not sympathize. You can empathize. There's a difference between empathizing and sympathizing. Sympathizing is just feeling sorry for the person, and empathizing is putting yourself in their shoes and understanding how they feel. Okay, then that way you can be able to help them objectively, all right? So that you're even advising them from a point that is not very clouded with your own personal judgment, all right? Now, that means that if you don't have what it takes to give, for example, like what I shared earlier, the person is telling you they don't have money, but you actually also don't have. So you're going ahead to steal because you want to be Robin Hood. Might not be the right way to support a friend. Maybe it might be in a way that you will encourage them to make a few changes here and there in their life. Maybe there are some financial indisciplined ways that you've noticed in their life. Maybe it might not be the time to tell them, but later on you could point it out and you're like, oh, by the way, I think you should open up an account, start saving, that kind of thing. Or maybe you should look for a job and not depend on your husband for everything. Yeah, things like that. So when your friend is going through, or your loved one, could be a family member, don't be the enabler. Be the person that is there to support them on their healing journey, but also have your boundaries because it can also drag you down. Okay? every time they come to you and they promise, today I'm going to stay sober, I promise, what, all those things, then you what, like, just this one time, yeah, give me money, I need money to start this business. First, be sure that this person is sober and now they have recovered fully before you give them that money. And that's the same money they go and buy drugs. Okay, and then they come back to you and they're like, I'm sorry, this time I promise. You give them more money. Then they go back, buy more drugs. So, and also don't personalize their failures. Don't feel like it's your responsibility. We have something we call the Messianic complex, where you want to be the savior. You want to save everybody. You can't save everybody. You can support in the way that you can. If it means talking to them on the phone, well, if it means giving them a shoulder to cry on, giving them a hug, helping them financially, whatever. But do not do what you cannot manage. You cannot pour from an empty cup. If your cup is depleted, first fill your cup. You can't pour from an empty cup. So these are the ways that you can be able to help a friend who is going through emotional distress or financial distress, any form of distress. Again, if you cannot be able to handle, please refer this person to the best person who can help you. We are here to support. If it is a mental health issue, maybe mental illness, it could be anything. It could even be a physical issue and you're like, no, take Panadol or what? Tell them to go to the hospital. What if those headaches are not because they didn't sleep well? What if those headaches that you think that they should take Panadol, it's because they have an infection or something? You can't be everything to everyone. You can't be that's why, even this is off topic, but very important. This is one thing that I also tell parents, because I see a lot of teenagers in therapy. You cannot be everything to your child. You cannot be their therapist, their cook, their spiritual guide. You could try to be everything, but it will overwhelm you. That's the reason why God created us as a part of a community. Everyone brings a different facet. That, we are a different blend. Okay? So when they meet Auntie so-and-so is going to tell them, that's not how girls sit. Maybe sit properly. Yeah? Maybe that's not something you have noticed, that maybe your child, sits in a very... Anyway, all I can say is you can't be everything to everyone. You can't do everything for everyone. You can't save everybody. Do what you can, do it to the best that you can. Be a good friend. But know where enough is enough. You can't pour from an empty cup. My name is McLean. I'm a counseling and clinical psychologist. I work with Sunnyside Counseling and Therapy Center. We help you get to the sunny side of life. Reach out, refer your friend if they're going through something and you are not able to help them. We will be able to assist.